Hey there, it's Lauren here, and I am going to show you what we've been up to with Paperize for this new Alpha 3, codename Code Cowboy. Basically, we're writing code to generate PDFs. I'm going to log in with my Google account, and I'm going to create a new game. Let's create Love Letter again, as I did a couple of years ago in the new system. So new game, Love Letter. Great description goes here. Player count is 2 to 4. Age range is probably 8 plus. Play time is like 8 to 45 minutes. Great. Love Letter has a couple of components. One of them is the red scoring cubes, which I don't have as a component type yet, but we will eventually be able to generate things like that. And the main thing is the character cards, which is a deck of cards. I'm going to browse my Google Sheets, and you'll see that it has all my Google Sheets, and I'm going to pull in the Love Letter sheet. Okay, so let's just pull this in. The properties it's found are quantity, rank, name, rule, and image, and indeed those are the properties: quantity, rank, name, rule, and image. One new thing now is the in-browser previews. So this is a PDF preview. This is a real PDF. It's been printed into the browser. It's set to an A4 piece of paper right now. We have lots of options for the types of output presets you can use. I'm envisioning a list later that's like poker size playing card, miniature size playing card, tarot size playing card, square tile, hex tile, token, etc. So this will get better. Okay, so a poker size playing card, I'm just going to enter those dimensions as custom dimensions. It's 2.5 by 3.5, and those are in inches. So this is now a tiny, much smaller piece of paper that you can't tell, so let's generate some text onto it. The way you do that is via transforms. Transforms can access the data from your spreadsheet, and they can also access the PDF rendering library. Let's get the first one. I'll go ahead and name this rank and name. We're going to edit it. So this I'm very proud of. This is the code editor, and this is a PDF preview right next door, and I'm going to show you how this works. So I'm just going to uncomment this line of code right here. So there it is. We've got text rendered onto the PDF. So all I did was call doc.text and then pass in the text I want to render, and then it's being rendered at 1 inch by 1 inch from the top left corner. So if I change this one to 0.5, you'll see that it moves to the left a bunch. If I change this one to 0.5, it's going to move up. And that's happening live. As soon as I finish typing, it re-renders the PDF. I get instant what you see is what you get feedback about the code I've written. So this is really, really powerful stuff. It feels good to me as a programmer, and I expect it to make me very productive in creating these prototypes in this fashion, as well as building the higher level features that everyone else will need. Okay, over here there's a code snippet here that helps us pull things out of the spreadsheet, and I need to pull out the rank, which is named rank, and I also need to pull out the name, which is named name. So now I've got the rank and name yanked directly out of the spreadsheet into these variables. And to prove that, I'm going to render them right here. I'm going to say just render the rank, and I'm going to grab another, and I'm going to render the name. They're right on top of each other, as you might expect, so I'm going to slide the rank to the left a little bit. There we go. The rank is 1 and the name is guard. We've got it. That was really quick and simple, which is pretty awesome. I'm going to clean up these comments that I have around just so that there's not a lot of noise. And that is our very simple rank and name transform. And if we come over here, we can actually cycle through each card and see that they've all been generated correctly. We can also scroll up here and click Print Game, open that PDF, and see that it's actually generated every single card in one big PDF for us. And this all happened in the browser. No servers were brought into play here. This is a major accomplishment. We've got code in the browser, we've got PDF generation in the browser. This is some really powerful stuff, and I'm really excited about it. Let's move on to images. So in the old Love Letter, I had these URLs for every image, and that no longer works because it's in the browser. Browsers don't trust images from other sites. automatically, so we've had to make a little bit of extra shenanigans for now. And those shenanigans consist of visiting the image, right-clicking on it and saving the image as. That's the king, actually. I've already got a king in there, but that's fine. I'm going to replace it. It gets downloaded here, and now I have it locally on my computer, but I need to get it into Paperize, which is also happens to be running locally on my computer. So I click this Images tab, and it brings up my image library. This is a new feature as well, and I'm very proud of it. So at this point, I can click and drag King into here, and it will just get added. It didn't get added because I've already got a king here, but it would appear at the bottom. And then editing these is really fast, so I've got this nice way to like fly through and edit each of them really quickly. So I've actually named them all very simply. The names of each file in Paperize is the same as the name with a lowercase first letter, and prefixed with this love letter prefix. So these are all inside my browser, living inside the Paperize application, not on any server. They're just on my computer. Let's render one of those. I'm going to add a new transform. I'm going to call it the image, and I'm going to edit it. So the image line is this one right here. Let me uncomment it and remove most of the rest of the things here so we can see what we're doing. So this is just trying to render my game / my image, which doesn't exist. So let's replace that with something that does exist. Love letter / king.jpg. Look at that. There he is. There's our king. You'll notice that he's rendered over top of our text. Let's quickly show what's cool about this. Here he is, and he's on top of the rule. If I click and drag the transform for the image, it goes to the back, and now the rank and name are being rendered after the image, and thus they appear on top. So you can really quickly reorganize your render transforms just by clicking and dragging, just like Photoshop or other layer-based renderers that you may be familiar with. But the image shouldn't be on top of the text at all, so I'm going to go back in there and edit that. Let's move the image down to about 0.8, and I'm going to get it off the left margin by a small amount, by 0.2. I don't like that 0.8. I'm going to bring it back up to like 0.6. So you see how I'm able to rapidly kind of modify things and just don't even know what I'm doing with the measurements beforehand. I'm just changing them on the fly. You're also going to see that there's a problem. This image goes off the right side of the screen, and that's true. I don't have it working such that images can be resized. We'll see more of that in a moment. Problem here is that the king is going to be rendered for every single image. So the king is a king, the prince looks like a king, the handmaid looks like a king, the baron looks like a king. So I need to make that dynamic. I need to replace this king with the lowercase name from the spreadsheet. So let's uncomment this line, which is already kind of doing the right thing. Pull the name out. And then I'm going to call name.toLowercase. And then I'm going to replace where it says king. I'm going to close the string and put the name right there. Didn't work because I need to assign that lowercasing. There we go. Okay, so now this is dynamic. The name is different for every single card, and thus the image will be different for every single card. There's our guard, there's our priest, there's our baron, there's our handmaid, our prince. They're all different. Very nice, right inside the browser. You're probably saying, hey, these images aren't cropped, they're not resized, shrunk, stretched. You'd be absolutely right. Those features don't exist yet. They will. So as I'm showing off cool stuff, I'm also showing off the stuff that's yet to be done. We are still in alpha after all. Your mileage may vary. Good luck. Last thing I want to do is get the rule in there and show you a little bit more stuff that does and does not work. So the last transform will be for the rule. I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to clean up what I don't need. Alright, let's get the rule out of there. So we got the rule pulled out of the spreadsheet. I will shrink the font a little bit, and the text to render will be the rule. And I'm going to move the rule down to the bottom part of the card, 1.5 inch maybe, 1.8. 2.2. That seems good. This one is properly wrapped, but that is not a feature yet. That is because I put wrapping in the spreadsheet. If I removed this wrapping, I can go back now to Paperize, and with one click, refresh from the spreadsheet, boom. And now it's re-rendered from the spreadsheet again, and if I look at that guard, it's no longer wrapping. The text is just going right off the card, so it has no idea that there's a box here that it needs to fit its text inside of. That will come later, but for now it doesn't work. That's about it for now. So you can, let's print this game out so we can see. Each card has been printed with its own image, its own rank, its own name. The images don't shrink to fit. The text runs off the page with no regard for where it should be. Oh, and you may also see the quantity column was not heated. So there should be 5 guards, 2 priests, 2 barons. I'm not watching for quantity yet either. And lastly, if you try to print this isn't right. These need to be laid out multiple cards per page. So if I print this, you're going to see, oh, it kind of looks right, but wait, that's because fit to page is on. This is an A4 page. It's just going to print a tiny little card in the corner instead of 3 cards across and 3 cards down or what have you, which in the fullness of time is what will work when I do PDF layout stuff, but for now it's just not really made to be used yet. So there you go. Thanks for watching today. I really appreciate the support. Head over to patreon.com/paperize to follow the updates as we march towards the first beta release. Thanks again. I'll see you next release.